Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Brandon Champ Robinson with the Imagination Upgraded podcast. Back again. This is like episode 8, I want to say. And these episodes are more special to me than others because I like to bring in people from the city, first of all. But not only is he from my city, he's somebody that I looked up to and admired for a long time. And that's my boy Chad Roper. What's good, bro?
Man, thank you for having me, champ. Man, I appreciate this, brother. I flew all the way out here just for this, man, because anytime my people want to do something, I want to be in the very beginning stages. So when it blow up, I can say I was there in the very beginning stages. You know what I mean?
Early support.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's
yes,
what's
sir.
up. And that's no bull because he legit like hit me like, Champ, I want to be on the podcast. And I'm like, yo, when you out here next?
Right.
Because my boy, he traveled all the time with
Right.
work. And I'm like, when the next time you out here? And he definitely showed up. So that's what's up, man. So let's jump right into it. Let's get the people familiar with who you are, first of all. So
Okay.
let them know who you are, what you do, all the accomplishments that you have. Because, I wouldn't even do it justice if I tried to
It's all
run
good.
it
So
down.
I'm Chad C. Note Roper, Grammy nominated songwriter, vocal producer, and producer, engineer also. And I got in the game as an engineer originally, and I would engineer the song and vocal produce the song. So like for example, Rico would write the song, and Rico
Rico
Love,
Love.
he would write the song, and I would come in and vocal produce it. And that's how I worked my way in the game like that. And accolades is irrelevant. I got a couple Grammy nominations, but
Like,
um,
couple. Just
yeah,
like.
but that to me that's the least important part because
No, it's for sure.
at the end of the day, it's really about the longevity of it. Because I actually got my first check, which was working with Jamie Foxx and Foxhole, and that was back in 2004, I think.
Okay.
So I've been around about 15, 16 years
Yeah.
officially because you never really official till you get a check. Now I was doing it prior to that, but I never got a check.
Right.
So my first check I think is 2004.
Foxhole, that was the serious comedy.
That's what it was
joint, right?
called.
Okay.
But it was off of his company. That was his company name. And they just made the Sirius satellite show named that.
Called the Foxhole.
And the crazy part was, me and Rico was out here working with Jamie, and he said, "Why don't y'all come to the Foxhole?" So Rico was a guest on there.
Okay.
The other guest was Kevin Hart, but he wasn't the
Early Kevin.
He wasn't. Yeah, he was. What was the bad movie he was in?
Soul Plane.
It was a Soul Plane Kevin Hart,
Plane,
and they
yeah.
was and Jamie Foxx. If you YouTube it, Rico Love, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart, Foxhole. It was an episode. That was the episode, and they were Jamie Foxx and the other dude I can't remember that was his co-host. They was killing Kevin Hart about how bad the movie was,
How
but
bad
Kevin
Soul Plane.
Hart was killing both of them niggas, man.
Yeah.
So we get to the studio, and Jamie was like, "Yo, he was killing us both." Like he, of course, on the thing he was, but when he got to the studio, he's like, "Man, that he gonna be huge because he was destroying both of them back to, and they was killing him,
Yeah.
double teaming them, but he was laying them both out. So it was back then. So that's about how long it's been.
Yeah. Kev cold with that because I seen him on Wild 'N Out, and he like roasted the entire cast. Like,
No, it was just quick. Yeah, he was just
Easy.
knocking them down.
Yeah, he
he'd
cold with that.
he gifted with that, man.
Yeah,
but
man.
that was really how I got my start. Like
Okay.
my official you in the music industry. That was my start. Right
that was
there.
it. So right there with Jamie, you was engineering over there.
I
and
was
vocal
engineering
producer
and
still,
vocal
or-
producing. So I
Okay.
was doing both. So like I remember a song it was that Rico did. He wrote. It was called "Hell of a Life," and DJ Toon.
So-
He was there with it. We was all in the studio. He did the production for it. The song never made the album, but I never forget that was my first like session that I was in with him and whatever. It was a song called "Hell of a Life."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was dope, man. It was good. It was a good experience. You know, when you first get in with somebody that's I guess considered a superstar at the time, you nervous because
Yeah.
you've done it 100 times, but still the nerves still don't leave. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
You still get that nerve because it's Jamie Foxx, like one of the
Exactly.
biggest dudes in the.
At that, especially at the time, 'cause it was like at the height.
Yeah.
Doing I forgot the big movie he had did.
Right.
I think it was a football. No, it wasn't. It was before that. It was like
Friday
any given
Night Lights?
Sunday.
Any Given Sunday, that's
Yeah,
what it
something
is.
like that. It was
Willie
like around.
Beeman?
Yeah, Steamy Willie Beeman.
Yeah,
Something Willie Beeman.
something
yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Steamy Willie Beeman. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah, he was the quarterback.
So it was
wasn't he?
around. Yep, it was around then. Yep. So it was back then. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So I mean, how was it? Like you a young guy in there, and now you up, and it's Jamie Foxx, and you got to make sure this You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
Like, tell me about that experience.
It wasn't bad, man. It was because it was like he made you feel comfortable in the studio. Like we was clowning so much, and we was clowning and working at the same time, so the edge was gone.
Yeah.
He knocked the edge off. He wanted everybody to feel comfortable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then the crazy part is, I never forget that session. There was a guy, we used to call him the Mexican Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
It was his first time interning in the studio. He was our intern. So our rule was like everybody got to be on good energy, but it was his first time. He never experienced working with being an intern for or being a runner for artists or producers, and so we would just treat him like he was one of the guys. He just was an intern.
Yeah.
So we treated that guy so well because we didn't want nobody's energy to be off. So fast forward maybe 7 years later, I go to, and this was done at Record Plant Studios. So I go back to Record Plant, and I was doing a Rihanna writing session there. And I walk in the door. The first person I seen was, his name is Antonio. I see him. I was like, Mexican Michael Jackson. That was his nickname that we made for him. You know what I'm saying? Mexican Michael Jackson, what up, baby? He's like, C-No, what up? Rico was just here last week, man. I just asked how you were doing. I'm like, man, how you doing? He's like, man, I run the show now. Wow. He was like, man, I told him, and I wanted to tell you, I just want to thank you, man, because you guys were my first session, and it was like a make or break point for me. And because of how everything went, and y'all treated me so well, y'all didn't treat me like the intern. Yes, I did things that needed to be done, but y'all treated me so well that it encouraged me. And he said, I thought every session was going to be like that. He said, but y'all were once in a lifetime guys, because Jamie treated me good, and y'all treated me good. I didn't know if y'all were big or not, but I just knew you guys treated me well. And I had sessions after that were way tougher than you guys, but because the tone you guys set, I was able to continue to work through and level up. And he was like, if you ever need something in this studio, in this Westlake or that one, you let me know, and I got you. And I'm like, wow. And that showed me right there that you always treat the janitor like it's the CEO, because they just might be the CEO one day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Imagine we'd have treated dude like shit. Yep. And then now he running the show.
Then you walk in there and you gotta be like,
he's not gonna forget. Yeah. I probably wouldn't remember him, but he was not gonna forget who 100%. I was. You know what I'm saying? So people remember you good or bad. I'd rather for you to remember me for the good. You know what I mean? So that's just an example. That right there showed me at that time that this is something that you gotta keep in your mental Rolodex, even though I'm not gonna treat anybody like shit. I just wasn't raised that way. But it just showed that really works. That really stands true. You know what I'm saying?
It's a real thing. And that's one thing, like I always tell my boys, is I don't treat people like shit, and I don't let people treat me like shit.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing I try to get to them. Like, you never have to be like, you know, a dick or, you know, a butthead to nobody. Right. You know what I'm saying? But they're not gonna be that back to you either.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get that. You give out good energy, you should expect that back from them.
Exactly.
You know
and if you don't, you know how to cut it loose.
You gotta cut it loose.
And you know what I always realized too? You ever notice how you even, like, especially social media is real bad with it. Yeah. People will be like, I'm getting ready to just turn off all my social media. I'm done with everything. If you want me, holla at me. If you got my number. Yeah. 2 weeks later, who's liking pictures?
Right back.
Them. Like, dude, why you gotta make it? If I'm cutting you off, you're gonna just notice, yo, what happened to such and such? What's C-No that? You know what I'm saying? So that's an example of just be who you are at all times, because it eventually either you're gonna contradict yourself, or you're gonna be really who you are. One of the you know what I'm saying? Fact. So I agree 100% with that statement you just made about your sons. Like, either make sure you demand the respect that you give. Absolutely. Or you demand the energy that you put out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, word.
So I want to go back real quick, because you said how you and Jamie Foxx and all that was clowning in the studio. Now, when I got out here and I got around some comedians, you know, that be clowning too. Now, one thing people might not know is in Milwaukee.
Oh, we get it in.
We roast.
100%.
We rib is what 100%. We'll get you. So how were you holding your own against them? No,
I wasn't a part of it. I was sitting off to the side. Okay. It was Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart, and I forgot the other brother name. Yeah. He had dreads, but he was like the co-host. Yeah. Them niggas was going at it. Okay. And Rico was at the table. He was being interviewed. I just was with him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I was out here to work. So I just can't roll with him. Yeah. And I was over there on the side eating snacks. Like, I'm talking about drinking the Patron and eating all the whatever they had laid
Enjoying
out.
all the amenities.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
just a spectator.
What about in the studio though? When y'all got in like studio sessions?
Oh, we was just clowning. We
Just
just had, but the
Okay.
clowning wasn't jokes. It
Okay.
was just clowning about in general stuff, whatever the
Yeah.
topics were at the time.
Whatever's
That's how I
going
normally
on.
how
Y'all just
studio
tripping.
sessions are. Yeah, we just tripping out. You know what I'm saying? Like he was telling us stories. I'm not gonna repeat the stories because
Yeah, for sure.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
But he was telling us certain stories we was tripping out about people. You know, it's just like a different atmosphere when you're in the studio. But it's
Yeah.
always a fun atmosphere because if you ain't having fun, bro, it's just not gonna come out right.
Right. It's not
You know
gonna
what I
come
mean?
out right.
Yeah.
And that's what's up. And that's what, I say that because when I'm on set with some of these comedians, like I'm usually just chilling. Like I've been on set with like Joe Torre, Breadman, and like
Mm-hmm.
Lil JJ, some other comedians and stuff. I'm usually just chilling and I crack jokes, but I'm not really getting on nobody. But the moment somebody shoot one my way,
You right back
all
at it.
right, you started it.
Right,
Like,
right.
Just know it's
right.
coming.
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
It's always a good time with comedians though,
That's a
because
fact.
you get to test see if you really good at what
Uh-huh.
you do it when you with
That's
comedians.
a
'cause
fact,
they can
man.
go.
And you could tell legitimate comedians because I remember I was leaving from Houston in Bush Airport and I met DC Fly,
Young Fly?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
DC
met him,
Fly,
but he wasn't. He was just popping. He had just started popping from Instagram,
Instagram.
so they had flew him in town
Yeah.
to do something, but he wasn't. He's not
host or
as
something.
big as he is now, right? And I met him in the airport, and I'm like, "Yo, you old boy from?" I didn't know what his name was, but I knew he was from Instagram.
Yeah.
And he was you know how he do his ugly ass little boy that type of, and he had me crying laughing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh yeah,
It was just any.
just in him, and he
Yeah.
wasn't even trying to be funny though. Like he was
Yeah.
talking to one of his homeboys. I was with him, traveling with him, and he had me cracking up talking to dude. I was like, yo, dude, he got something.
He got it. It's
And
in
then
him.
boom, so it don't surprise me to see him blow up as he has blown
Yeah.
compared to when I just seen him literally with some slides on and
Yeah.
carrying his bag just
Yeah.
like regular. So
Yeah, let's talk about that too. Like just being your authentic self, because we touched on like the social media and then DC Young Fly. One thing that you probably don't know this, but growing up when I was doing music and stuff, like it was always like the legend of Chad, like the legend of C-No.
oh, word. Yeah,
And I used to be
yeah.
like, yo, if I could just get C-No to hear this one.
Yeah, it's still like that. It's funny.
still like that?
Because I'm trying to think who B Justice said it to me, and a couple other cats that's in from the city.
Yeah.
Was like I thought you was gonna be an asshole because I always hear,
That's
and then I
exactly
hear you charge all this money and all this type of stuff. I'm like, well, it's true. Some of it is true. I am an asshole at times. And I do want my money if I'm doing if I'm using my gift.
Yeah.
Just like if I ask you to come feature on a verse, I'm not gonna say just put a verse on it. And then if you're doing you know what I mean. So I don't know what the legend. I don't know what people say, but at the end of the day, once people encounter me, it's a different situation because I'm naturally a teacher. So what I'm trying to do is see what your weaknesses are and kind of give you pointers into what I think that can maybe positively affect what your gift is. And to me, everybody already know what they're strong at.
Yeah.
But what people don't do is they know where they're weak, but they don't recognize it so that they can enhance it. That's all. It's like if you're working out in the gym, if you have weak chest, you know you're gonna do certain kind of incline, decline, flat bench or whatever, or dumbbell, flies, whatever. But one thing you can't do is you can't open your head skull up and put your brain on a treadmill and say work out.
Figure it out.
And just let your brain run 3 miles like your legs would do.
Yeah.
So what you got to do is you got to see what your weaknesses are internally, and then work internally on what it is. But when I say we, I mean black folks.
people, yeah.
We don't like to do that. You know what I mean? And that's to me that was my thing. Make sure you know what your weaknesses are. So one, you can work on them, but two, you can get somebody to fill that spot to help you with it. So let's say if you're an artist, you build a team, you know I'm terrible at marketing, so I'm going to hire somebody who this all your job is to do is marketing. I'm bad at being on time. This is my manager, so he going to make sure we got to be where we got to be. And to me, that was things that I would try to teach people.
Yeah.
The most wealthiest individuals in the world are that because a lot of them are extreme. You got like a Bill Gates who's extremely smart, or Warren Buffett who's extremely smart, or I can't think of Zuckerberg that they just
Zuckerberg,
naturally
yeah.
gifted.
Elon Musk,
yeah,
all
and
those
they-
guys.
yeah, they naturally gifted thinkers, but then you got other cats like Puff, who know how to put people who are better at things in positions. You know what I'm saying? And wherever he's weak at, you got people like Russell Simmons was like that. He was great at things of that nature. You got people like L.A. Reid. He's great at that. He know how to delegate. You know what I'm saying? Those are some of the most unsung geniuses because they're genius enough to know where the lack is.
Yeah.
And they're genius enough to see what that person's gift is that can fulfill the need of that lack that they have. And to me, that's what make an all-around so-called mogul.
Yeah.
Or that's what they call it.
Yeah.
But to me, they're just a thinker to me. That's just another way of being a thinker. And that was my goal when I work with different artists, saying, okay, you weak in this area, so find somebody to fill that hole. You weak in that area, find somebody to fill that hole. But the way I would say it was asshole-ish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think that that's mostly what it is, especially like you just think about the mentality of people in Milwaukee in our city, and it's hard to give somebody criticism.
Right. They
You know
think
what
you're a
I'm saying?
hater.
And they take it as you're a hater or
Right.
you're an asshole.
Right.
So I think that might have been more of what, like, one person came and told somebody, like, man, Cino's tripping. He talked about this and that, because you probably called them out on something they was weak on and said you need to work on that. And then, So let's go back to you were talking about Puff and Russell Simmons and everybody.
Right.
Just talk about, like, building the team. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing that I'm working on doing now, because I was a one-man band for so long. And, like, now it's just getting to the point where, like, why am I doing this by myself? And I'm losing more than I'm gaining by doing this by myself. So
the hard part, see, the thing is to find the right teammates.
Right.
Because the turnover is always high, especially when you deal with the black community.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So because everybody want to be the chief, nobody want to be the Indian. Now the goal, my goal as quote unquote the chief was to prepare whoever was the Indians at the time to become chiefs.
Right.
Why? Because I look at it like this. If I'm a chief and I put you on to become a chief, and then you put somebody else on to become the chief, they all come under our tutelage. When I need you, because you're a chief, you may have something I need.
Yep.
And you're going to, out of respect and reverence for what I've done for you, you're going to, in return, possibly, not saying it's you entitled to, but you're going to want to show love back for the most part. If my discernment is right and I'm picking the right individuals to help become a chief.
Right.
So to me, that was always my goal. If cats like Biz needed help, I was there to help him. If Prep needed help, I was there to help him.
Yeah.
If Sounds needed help, I was there to help him. You know, I could just go on and name people. But guess what? If I got an artist I'm rocking with and I need help, I can say, Biz, I need a pack.
Any one of them.
And he ain't gonna be like, it's gonna be $20,000 for the pack like he do everybody else. He can be like, when you want to get him out here, when you want to get him in the studio, let's do it, big bro.
Yep.
If I say Sounds, I need such, he gonna say, send them to me, or fly me to them.
Yeah.
Like the record is just, the other people is gonna be like, well, talk to this person, and they gonna put together. Blah. No, it don't be like that. That's because when you show people love and do things for people. And I'm not saying I made them chiefs, so let me clear that up.
No.
I'm just using them.
I'm
Using those guys as examples of people that I showed love to when I was in a good position. And now that they're in a good position, I'm still in a good position. But now that they're in a good position as well, it's easy for me to be able to use their gifts to collaborate with what I got going on. Now, mind you, I want to make sure everybody get paid.
Yeah.
But if there's a situation where there's no budget, just the strength of love,
Let's figure it out.
let's make it happen. Let's
Yeah.
figure out how we can eat together.
And then they also know you're not gonna put them in no bull. You
No,
know what I'm
at
saying?
100%.
Like, if I'm coming to you with this, it's because I believe in it. It's
Exactly.
because I know this is gonna go
Exactly.
somewhere.
Exactly.
And you know, and if it doesn't pan out, then it's all good.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
And that's basically to me what a team, like to me, if you got a team and if you don't go into it as a part, if we come into it as a partnership, it should last however long we want it to last. But when you're building a team, what you should be doing is growing those individuals to eventually leave you within a certain time frame, depending on whatever you got going on.
Yep.
Like with me, I never expect somebody to be with me more than 5 years.
Yep.
If that's the case, I didn't do my job as a leader because I led them astray and just consistently make them as worker bees. And to me, that's cool, but eventually worker bees get old. So how are you going to keep the new worker bees coming in to make honey?
Yep.
That's whack. So you got to make sure you consist. So what you're doing is you teaching them how to scout talent, just like you scouted talent.
Yeah.
You teaching them how to, if it's vocal produce, you teach them how to vocal produce. So if you got 2 vocal productions, you got to get done. I can go one place, they can go another place. You teaching them how to engineer, so you can engineer my session and I can engineer the other session. So on and so forth. Production and everything else, or cameramen, women, whatever. So to me, that's an important piece that we don't do as black folks that other nationalities do well.
Yeah.
Particularly the Asians.
That's
They're amazing with that.
You know how you say, you out here building chiefs. I really like that because, my big bro Godzilla, he did the same thing for me. And that was, he found me in Mars Music. I was in there making beats and stuff. He came over. He liked what I was doing. We ended up getting cool and chopping it up. I came to his studio.
Right.
And he started just showing me everything. And I was in there every day with him. And, we became, brothers at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But he was telling me that his mentor that taught him told him that all he would have to do is, what is that? Helicopter? Got the
Just pause it.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. People know, like, we do this in the house, all right? We utilize if your house can't make you money, then you don't need
You
to
in the
live
wrong
there. You in the
thing.
wrong
Yeah,
space.
word.
So, yes, this is a crib. We live here. There will be helicopters flying over. You might see my dog run out here, the baby or something, but we still going to get it in. You know what I mean?
Word.
But, yeah, so like I was saying, he basically told me, like, his mentor said, I'm going to teach you everything, and your job is to go out and do it to somebody else. And
Right.
I was that person. And I took that with me when I got here. Like I was saying, I'm on my second assistant now, which is EJ. She's dope, but I had a first assistant. Her name was Natalie, and now she's working at one of the biggest post-production facilities out here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and that's good because I'm building chiefs.
Right.
And then a network that you can touch back in with.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So if you need some post production, you know who to roll to. 'Cause you know she's gonna do it tight right, and she's gonna pay special attention because it's you.
'Cause it's
You know what I'm
me.
saying? You gave her the game, so why not?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope, man. At the end of the day, what we all need to do is, I heard I think his name was Nuri Muhammad, one of Nation of Islam
Okay.
gentleman, and he was talking about how African Americans spend $1.7 trillion, and each different a culture spends less than us, but the difference is their money cycles around their community
Inside there.
several times. So he was like, the Asians cycle 15 times, the Hispanics is like 9 or 10 times, white folks is like maybe 8 times, and then blacks 0. He said, you want to know why? It was I think it was a Vlad interview.
Okay.
He said, you want to know why? Because we don't own nothing. So we don't have resources. And when you don't have resources and no ownership, you can't spend with each other because you don't own enough to spend.
Nothing to spend with.
What black grocery store you gonna go to buy groceries? What black gas station you gonna go to buy gas?
Yeah.
So he was giving amazing examples, man. And that's facts, because we don't support each other when we can support each other, let alone we should be supporting each other. And that's the big difference.
Yeah.
So if we start supporting each other in this aspect, like mentoring somebody and helping them become whatever they could be, then you will start subconsciously supporting other. You'll look for the black spots to go to just on GP. Because that's what I do. When I'm out here, I look for all the spots where take me to the hood so I can get whatever I'm, you know what I mean? So it's a second nature. But if you're not taught that, then you won't practice what you're not taught. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like that. You seen that Killer Mike special? I think.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep, I saw that.
Black
Yep.
for a day.
Yeah,
It was
it was hard for him to do that
was
because
hard for him to do
they ain't
it.
have nothing. Like a black bike. Who owned bikes? You know, like it was. I saw the whole thing, and he was making valid points, man.
It makes you
Valid
think,
points.
man.
Yeah.
And you know what? Another thing that I like about Milwaukee now is there are more black businesses and small businesses popping up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I haven't been down there, but I heard the Sherman Phoenix. Like, there's a lot.
That's dope. It's very dope. It's very dope.
Yeah.
Bro. It's
What's
very
going
dope.
on over there?
It's you got everything. You got pizza spot that's real dope called Sauce and Spice, is real good. Then you got barbershops, makeup artistry in there. You got Juice Kitchen, the Shindig, they're in there. Then you have other elements downstairs. It's just dope. They did a great job with the Sherman
Yeah,
Phoenix.
I'm about to come check that
Yeah,
out.
it's real dope. But and then they also have different, artists may come in and perform in there, or elected officials may come and speak. It's a lot of different things they have going on. I'm not there quite often, but the times I've been there, they got
Seen it.
it's amazing. It's amazing what they got going on. And to me, that's what it needs. It needs more of those type of things in all black urban or black communities. You need that kind of thing where you basically loving and showing love to each other. That's the key, and that's what we lack.
Yeah.
And I noticed that we'll do it in areas where it doesn't make sense. Like we'll promote killing each other, like on a song, or popping these drugs, so then the youngsters is dying, ODing on the drugs. We support that quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah.
But then where's the support when it comes to something that's in a positive light? Now there is some, but a lot of times will get magnified.
It's not as loud.
It's not as loud. Exactly. So there are both.
Yeah.
But the negative side of it is much louder than the positive side. Why? Because the negative side is not owned by us. The record companies own that. You think who own the record company? It ain't us.
It ain't us.
So what they're gonna do? They're gonna turn the volume up on us talking bad or doing something destructive to us, as opposed to Quavo gave $1 million so that 50 kids can go to college. They're not gonna promote that as much as they promote him. He didn't. I'm just saying. I'm using that as an example. I'm just giving an example. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to pick things about young. I mean, 21 Savage do something right now in Atlanta. He does a lot. He don't get a lot of promotion though. But when he got locked up for shooting this or blah blah blah, they'll promote it. Or when he got locked up for the ISIS thing.
International.
Yeah,
but he's not from here, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But they promoted that. But they don't promote once he got out, he went and grabbed 20, 30 young Atlanta kids and teaching them about credit and this and this and that.
Yeah.
They ain't promote that. Like
all.
you know what I'm saying? Or they ain't promote a lot, how on the song a lot, how many times you got shot, a lot, blah, 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 a lot, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They promoted that way harder than they did the other thing. So you got to also keep that into account. There's certain things that they're gonna push with a certain agenda because one, they're making money, and that's really what they care about.
Yeah.
Just like you could use the example of sports, right?
Yeah.
When LeBron was getting ready to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers, people thought he was wrong for deciding to leave and whatever.
First time or the second time?
The first time.
First time, right.
Right?
Okay.
They went crazy, right?
Yeah.
So it was a big issue. How could he not be loyal, blase, skippy, whatever? Now you think if LeBron James got injured where he couldn't do what he do as LeBron, they would have gave a damn if Dan Gilbert would have cut his ass?
No, not one damn.
They wouldn't have gave a shit. But because he the white man, it's okay for him. But when a nigga want to call his shots, it's an issue.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Them NBA stars, baseball players, or football players don't owe them motherfuckers nothing. Get your check, move around, call it. Like that's why I like the NBA over football.
Yeah.
Because they call the shots. The players call the shots.
League.
Yeah.
They figure out what they
NFL, no.
None.
Nothing.
Yeah.
First of all, the lifespan of an NFL player is way shorter than an NFL player.
Yeah.
But two, it's like a good old boys network in that motherfucker with all them owners.
Yeah.
Good old boys.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, and then when one of them died, when one of the good old boys died, they was the greatest person in history.
Never.
Never.
Never, bro.
You think when Jerry Jones kicked the bucket, niggas gonna give a fuck?
Never.
Michael Irvin and them, the niggas who play for him, everybody else don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones don't like no niggas.
No.
He ain't never like no niggas unless they on the field.
Unless they on the field.
Yeah,
Making
think
him
about
some
it.
money.
Do you think Jason Garrett, if he was if his name was Jerome Garrett, you think his ass would have lasted 11 years coaching the Dallas Cowboys?
Not at all.
He would have never coached one day
Not one game.
as the head coach. Okay, then. So, and I'm saying that to say, as athletes, it's cool as long as you're the lower level, and not LeBron James is not a lower level by no stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But he is not the owner. So it's cool when anybody that's underneath the owner do. It's cool when the owner do something, but it's not cool when somebody like an athlete decides what they want to do with their body, with their future, making the money they want to make.
Then they put the narrative on, oh, he's not loyal. I don't
Yeah,
like how he's not.
exactly.
You know what the messed up part about that also is that we won't even a lot of times even support that. Like we'll fall into that narrative.
Exactly.
Also. Like when LeBron was doing it, like I'm like, yo, he's the best player in the world.
It's
Do what
called
you're doing.
free agency.
He could decide
Do
what
the
he
fuck he
want to
do. Right.
Bro, if you're a player, everybody wants you. Figure out where you want to go and how much money you want to make.
Exactly. And they can make all the, and they had niggas like Stephen A. Smith on there talking about this and that and this and that, and it's supposed to be right because he black. Mm-hmm. No, it don't matter. No. Niggas should be able to go wherever they want. It don't matter. He doing what he doing. Steve A. doing what he doing to get paid. Get him a check. But it don't matter what the just like he was talking about how the KD. He think it's the weakest move. He entitled to his opinion. Yep. But at the end of the day, KD he controls where the fuck he want to go. Yeah. He did what he wanted to do. Stephen A. Smith wouldn't do none of that barking or nothing if it would have been the owner of OKC doing something to him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He might have said a little something, but he wouldn't have raised all the hell he raised when Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a different situation. Now, mind you, he entitled to do what he wants because he's trying to get his money. He's trying to be that, which he ended up doing. Right. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you got to look at both sides of the fence, why certain things a certain way.
You do, and not to make this a sports podcast, but even just the move like AD, like he said he didn't resign. Like, of course he ain't. Like, why should he resign?
No, y'all ain't been 500 ever since the nigga been there. You think he want to stay with y'all?
I mean, even if he does want to stay. Why would he resign now when I heard he can make like way more if he resigns?
Of course.
So why y'all try to lowball him now? Like, don't give it to him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know they do that with not this ain't a sports podcast by the way, but you know they do that with they trying to do that with what's the black dude Dak Prescott. They want to franchise him so they can pay him less money.
See, man.
Now mind you, I ain't a Dak Prescott fan.
Yeah.
Because he did the shucking and jiving shit when it came to Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fuck with him no way. But still. He a black man. I want him to get his money. Exactly. If the white man gonna give it, if he getting it from the white dude, he might well get all he can get. Exactly. But I don't fuck with Dak Prescott on no level. I'm glad he at home right now, watching it.
Watching it like us.
He's a bitch nigga to me. But at the end of the day, he still has the right to get all he can get. Right. Because his body only lasts so much. Long, you know what I'm saying? So I want the man to get his money.
Exactly.
Whether I like him or not. Yeah. That's just how I am.
So what do you think? We need to do what we can do to like kind of change this narrative, because another thing that I just had a meeting at this one at this streaming service. It's a black streaming service, and basically they were telling me, they were just talking about how people are like, oh, why doesn't BET have this on there? Why does BET have that on there? Like, let's just say some kind of a ratchet show. And he was saying like, people watch these shows, right? Right. We watch these shows. As black people watch these shows. We'll watch it on the white network, but as soon as it's on the black network, it's different.
But the crazy part is,
why are you portraying us like that?
The crazy part is, it's not even a black network. BET is owned by white people.
Exactly.
So it's not even a black. The perception is that it's a black network
because they owned by Viacom.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Viacom owns VH1. Yeah. What do Love and Hip Hop come on and all other shit? VH1. So they just doing what they do best, and they use a black woman to facilitate it. Yep. Mona Scott Young. Yep. To facilitate it. Yep. Now I ain't mad at her. She doing what she's supposed to do. But at the end of the day, you can't blame black folks for something that they don't own. Because at the end of the day, it has to get okayed by somebody else. So none of those channels that are considered black they're not really black.
They're not really black.
You know what I'm saying? They have black programming, content, but they're not black. Yeah. So that's the difference to me. Is you gotta basically Tyler Perry the game and own your own shit. Then you can control the narrative. I saw Byron Allen one time speaking about, it was a white executive, and he was asking him, why is it such a big deal that black folks care about, I guess, the Oscars being so white or whatever. And Byron Allen killed the man. He said to him, do you have a daughter? He said, yeah, I do. He said, are you okay with everything she learns about growing up to be a young woman coming from me? And dude said, no, would you be comfortable with that? He said, no, I wouldn't. He said, so why do you think I will be comfortable with my daughters learning how to become black women from you? He said the white man had to sit there and just,
Yeah, too.
you fucked him up.
Shut him up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's things like that that you got to have that thought process. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's key. Like, you got to be able to make sure that whatever it is you're doing, big or small, that you try to have some kind of ownership, because what ownership is say so.
Yeah.
You don't have ownership, you don't have the last say. That's why I respect Lena Waithe with that Queen and Slim movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I gotta see it.
Right, but check it. The key, whether you seen it or not, the thing was, her goal was to make sure she had final cut. You know what that means as a director.
Exactly.
So she had final cut. They gave her the budget and all that, everything to do whatever, but she had final cut. Well, basically, for those who don't know, that basically means you say what goes and what stays in the movie at the end before it goes to the theater.
This is it. My
That's
decision.
it. This is it.
That's how I cut it. That's how it's going
and
out.
you know what she said? I didn't want nobody white telling me how
No no's from white people.
I'm straight. And that's where you got to be with it.
Yeah.
So even if you're not, even if you're doing something, that to me is still a form of ownership.
She gave us ownership over the content because it's black content.
Exactly.
And it's
So how a white man gonna
serious
tell
black
me
stuff.
how a black person's supposed to speak?
react in this
Or
situation.
they don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah.
Because there's conversations that you got with your sons that them motherfuckers ain't gotta have with their sons when they
gotta
come
have
start
it.
driving.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, to me, that's where it goes. It all boils down to that. And to me, that's key. So that's how, to me, they can talk about why the black network have this or that, but it's not a black network. There's no final cut from. It has to be okay.
Has to be okay by somebody.
And ain't no nigga in there giving the okay.
Giving the okay.
Stephen Hill used to be able to be in there. I think he left though. So now you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And even then, Stephen Hill answered to somebody at Viacom. So you gotta think about it like that, bro. So it's impossible because we don't own it. Once we start owning it, Oprah. She owned hers, so she got the final cut of everything. But if you look at her network, you can tell that she has it. Though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it just depends, man.
Yeah.
And then you got to team up too. Just like when Oprah first started on and it was struggling, Tyler Perry teamed up with her to help her with content.
Shows.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to do stuff like that as well. That all goes back to the ability of creating chiefs and Indians and creating those Indians to become chiefs. So that's that. She did it with him. She did it with Ayanna Van Zant. She did it with Dr. Phil.
Facts. Yeah.
She put him
Definitely
on.
empowered Dr.
So
Phil.
yeah, so to me that's how you kind of got to view it, bro.
Yeah.
Like until you get into that scope and that realm, then that's even with the music industry. A lot of niggas doing deals with these labels, which is cool, but what a label that can do whatever they want, QC. Do whatever the fuck they want.
QC do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. They just got a big amount of money. They could do whatever they want because what they did was they put their foot down when they was creating their content. They was trying to get fucked. They almost got fucked by Lior at 300 over there with the Migos. They had like a little something. Yeah. But they fought through it. They weathered that storm. Now they own 100% of they, you know what I'm saying? And they do whatever they want to do.
That's kind of like what Cash Money did back. Wasn't they like
That's
the first company to actually do that? Well, or was it No Limit?
No Limit was the first.
Limit was
oh
the
yeah,
first.
he was the one who cracked the code.
He cracked the
and
code.
everybody followed suit. Yeah. P was the one.
He is that dude.
Yeah,
bro.
P was the one.
Like,
He cracked the code.
he cracked the code.
Yes, sir.
And
So
then
now everybody was able to follow suit.
Yeah.
He cracked the code. But wasn't nobody getting no deal like P after that because they realized they made a mistake. Because what it was
we can't do this no more.
right, because they underestimated it.
Yeah.
It goes back to being able to see talent, which a lot of times it's us who see the talent. They take advantage of the talent that's been sawn or sought after or whatever.
sought after,
you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, P was able to see the talent, and they thought this shit ain't gonna do nothing. This just some old blah 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 blah. And they said, okay, whatever. We distributed. You take 85. We take 15.
Yeah.
P knew at that moment. What he knew at that moment was when he said Jimmy Iovine tried to offer him $1 million. He said, man, I ain't had no money like that. But this man offered me $1 million.
You know you got something.
You know I got something. He said, so he turned it down.
Yeah.
Because the first person offered him something was Jimmy Iovine. And then he turned around and get that 85-15. And that's when he knew he was up to something. So that's why if you notice, that nigga was putting out music every week. It felt like it was somebody
putting somebody out.
And
he was
when
getting
you
that 85,
when you get that, but when you got that kind of split,
Uh-huh.
you can take that risk because you don't need much to be in the green. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different with them when they owning, the lion's share. To get in the green is hard because they're gonna throw all type of shit in there.
Yeah.
To mess it up.
Man,
So
when somebody coming at you with that bread and it's a number you ain't never, like, what was it? LeBron said he turned down like 10 million from Reebok.
Reebok, yeah.
And he was like, bro, I ain't never seen this type of money in my life.
Exactly.
But he said, I know my brand. If they giving me 10 million,
It means it's 100 somewhere.
Somebody come with the bag.
And they end up getting 90.
They end up getting 90. Then he got the undisclosed.
The undisclosed until you
number
forever from Nike.
You know that was a bag.
The Billy.
You know that was
man. It's a
bag.
billion something.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
So to me, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, though.
Yeah.
It's about basically knowing what your brand is, and then he got a bunch of smart guys around him.
Oh yeah. You know, we talking about building the team. He built this team.
Exactly.
He took all his guys.
But you know what I noticed though?
What's that?
He did something that's very rare. Most people that build a team only see the people that they have in positions at that position, and that's where they fuck up. Mm-hmm. So if I got a team and you my engineer, all I see you as is an engineer. That's it. Mm-hmm. Or if she's my hook writer, all she do is write hooks.
Yeah.
How do I know she can't A&R a project?
Mm-hmm. Probably the coldest A&R.
That's what I'm saying. You never know until they leave and go do it for somebody else. Yeah. Now you salty because you didn't give them opportunity to spread their wings. And that's what most black people do when we in power positions, because we want to stay in power. You don't become less of a power if you're able to allow people to do whatever their gifts is.
Fact.
And that's, to me, is a big issue in our community.
Fact.
If you my guy and I bring you in as this, that's all I can see you is. But then I go give a check to another motherfucker that ain't even your guy, who don't even care about you like I do because I'm your guy, or you care about me because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I go give a check to this person just because they did it before for this such and such. But now they really only doing it for the check. Yep. You doing it because you want to see me win. That's a big difference. And to me, I would rather start a business, a company, and have, and it ain't got to be music, it could be anything. We making software shit. Yeah. And you a coder. I would rather for you to be, you're good at marketing, but you're good at creating the code. I'd rather say, okay, well, what else can you do? And you start showing me, and I'd rather rock with you as we grow instead of going to grab a marketing person who really there for the check, and when the shit don't work, all they do is leave. So now you dead broke, you fucked up. Fact. They didn't care no way, but you gave a fuck, and you still there because you my nigga. You fuck with me. Yeah. And to me, that's what we do as black folks. We only see people where they are, not where they can be, and that's an issue. And that's why we don't own shit. That's why we not successful. That's why our businesses don't reach millions and millions of dollars. So that's what it is getting out of the mindset as black people who actually become entrepreneurs and stop seeing the employees or the people that's on your team as only that, because there might be something in them that'll blow, that they can blow up and be something bigger, and it makes you look better. It's like you was the guru behind it. Yeah. So to me, that's why we lag behind. And white folks, what they gonna do is they gonna be the fucking president. Yep. They're gonna get their guy to be the vice president and teach him how the vice president be
how the vice president.
Teach him how the vice president look at that. and then that vice president, they're gonna put a other guy to be the COO and teach him how to COO. And then that's how they do it. Yeah. So instead of saying, let me go, Champ used to be a COO, let me grab this nigga and put him. No. We're gonna teach Bill how to do that shit. Yeah, niggas won't do that.
They won't.
Niggas will just tell you what you can't do and leave it alone. Instead of saying, well, you got this kind of skill set. I'm sure you can do this if you put your mind to it. Read this, figure this out, blah 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 blah, and keep working so you could be in position. That's what LeBron did. That's why he winning. That's why. There's a lot of other motherfuckers that's just as talented in other areas of their lives that they don't reach their pinnacle of success, or they peak and then drop because they don't allow people who actually give a fuck about them. One thing about LeBron team, they all love him as their friend and brother. So they're not gonna try to do nothing that's detrimental to him or his brand. Period. It's deeper than money with them, and that's the issue that most people don't have, is people like that, because they getting motherfucker from. I start a record company. I go grab a motherfucker who worked at Sony. I go grab a motherfucker who worked at this. These are people who just work there.
Yeah.
They had no track record of being that nigga over there.
Yeah.
We never had no relationship prior, or if it was just casual. Nah, why you gonna do it? Why don't you create the next L.A. Reid or the next Sylvia Rome or the next? To me, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, it's cool to work on Beyonce album. Everybody want to work on it. But imagine you the motherfucker that create the next Beyonce. You's a bad motherfucker. Think about the people who signed Taylor Swift, bro. I ain't a big Taylor Swift fan, but she had plenty hits, dog.
Facts.
Think about it.
I think about the people who passed on Lady Gaga.
Exactly. But think about it. So think about you, the one who think about Akon.
Yeah.
He's still spending Lady Gaga money.
Forever.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what it is. Everybody wanted the Ushers and the blah blah, the Chris Brown. Who is the next one? Grab them and see what's happening. So then you could be the QCs. Think about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't rap groups popping like that till Migos came out here going crazy.
That's facts.
See what I'm saying?
That's facts.
People thought something was wrong with Lil Yachty. Went crazy. All them artists. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it takes that type of person. And then even if you look at their company, they put people in position that they fuck with, that they know they fuck with them. So if something go wrong, they gonna be just as hurt. The person who's involved is gonna be more hurt than the niggas who own the company, because they don't want. They fuck with them people. They don't want them to lose. And that's how LeBron cats. I saw the thing they had on ESPN Plus, and I can't think of which one of the gentlemen. Huh?
The more than the athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And the heavier set guy, I can't think of his name. It's not Maverick or it's not Rich. It's the other dude. The one who be with LeBron all the time. He said the biggest mistake we made was allow him to announce he was going to Miami that way. Once that happened and we saw, dude said he was on a retreat or something, vacation with his wife. He left to go meet with the team in Miami to figure out how they can clean that shit up.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
So they got to protect the brand.
They got to protect the brand.
And it's just protecting their boy at that point.
Exactly.
It's
but
more than the brand.
The difference is most people don't have their real friends around them. So when it's time for protection, them motherfuckers is gone, dog.
Yep.
Real niggas is gonna fuck with you when you at your low.
Yep. And they're gonna be there helping.
They're gonna be there to help you. And they're gonna do sacrifice whatever they gotta do to make sure you bounce back.
Yep.
That's the type of friend I am. I see my friend fucked up over here, he doing or she doing something, and they need help, but it's something that I have a skill set at. Man, just call me, tell me when to show up. I'm there.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure this shit out. You gonna give it. I believe in you as a whatever your skill set is enough that I'm gonna rock with you for free.
Yes, sir.
Let's just get it done. Let's get what we gotta do to get it done. So when you back up, nigga, we up.
We good.
And I can go do what I've been doing and just holler when you need me. Yeah. Now, that's how you supposed to be. And that's not how we are. So we don't own shit. We don't all that is a trickle-down effect of what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
We only see people at where they are, not where they can go. And that's key.
You know what? That's one of the first things I ask people too. Like, I ask either Natalie or EJ or my other little homie Andreas that I work with. I always ask them when they come and do something for me. I sit down and I'm like, yo, what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your passion? What's the goal for you? You know what I'm saying? You dropping a lot of jewels and a lot of knowledge, and I know we're gonna have to do another one of these just because we ain't even get to.
No, we just getting warmed up.
We just getting warmed up.
We getting warmed up,
and
man.
You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate you coming out here because you flew out here to do this. I mean, I know you took some other meetings and everything, and that's what you should do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you came out here to rock with me. You know what I'm saying? At the crib.
For sure.
On the podcast.
For sure. But the thing is, I remember when you first moved out here and you called me and said, bro, I'm fresh in LA. I don't know if you got any plugs, anybody looking for some work, but let me know. I'm out here to work. I said, right now, I'm cold out there because I've been on the other coast. But if I hear anything, I'll let you know. Unfortunately, I didn't have nothing for you, but don't think I wasn't calling trying to find something. It just it was a time where I was cold in this area. I'm hot now over here. All of a sudden I'm hot. I don't know where it came from.
Back.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I was on the phone looking like, yo, you need some behind the scenes work. You need this and this and that. Well, no, I really ain't got the budget, blah, blah. If a nigga throw you 2 G's, it's better than $0,
Better
bro.
than zero, yeah.
So to me, I just respected the fact that you was able to take that risk. And most of us don't take risks because we live in fear. And that was one thing that I respected about what you did is you had children, a family, and you still wouldn't live in fear. And most of us are not successful because we allow fear to dominate our mindset as opposed to allowing failure to occur, but learning from the failure and to continue to push on. And that's the respect I have about you. So anytime you need me, On the strength of that, you would take a risk, you would bet on you. I'm gonna bet on you because you would bet on you before I bet. If I bet 100,000, you gonna bet 200,000 on yourself. I respect people like that. I don't respect nobody who want me to put the whole 300,000 in. That's whack.
Yeah.
At least 150 a piece.
150.
But you would say, I got the whole 300. I just need you to stand to the side and make sure don't nobody fuck it up. Cool. And that to me is the sign of somebody who is destined for greatness. It don't surprise me that you got $30,000 and $50,000 cameras around here. You got lights worth $10,000, $12,000. It don't surprise me because at the end of the year, you living in a $2 million house. Like this type of stuff don't surprise me because you was willing to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
And most people from our hometown won't even bet on themselves because they got to do this or they got to do that. The reason why I got my first Grammy nomination was because I was working as a youth crisis stabilizer, and I got fired on a Monday. My nigga Sounds hit me. This was Monday morning. My nigga Sounds hit me in the afternoon and said, "C-No, you just crossed my mind. What you got going on?" I said, not a damn thing. Now, I could have did one or two things. Sit there and mope about that. He said, "Man, you should come fuck with me in L.A." I said, "I'll be there tomorrow." He said, "Word?"
I got nothing to do.
I ain't got nothing to do, bro. He said, "How long you gonna stay?" I said, "A month. I'm gonna give myself a month." I stayed out here a month. The first day I landed on a Tuesday, bro, he picked me up from the airport and said, "Hey, I got a call from Sony ATV, which is who he was published by at the time. They got writing camps. I want you to roll through with me." My best ability was my availability. I was available to be there, but I could have allowed fear to take over, and I would not have came. I would have just moped. But because I don't give a fuck about losing, I end up winning just because of that. And I always remember that my best ability is being available. You can never do shit if you're not available to do it. So that to me is how I want to end it out, bro.
Man, I'm gonna end it right there. I mean, that's chills. I'm gonna end it right there, man.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let the people know where you can be. You can see you on social media, reach out to you and
No
all
doubt.
that kind of stuff. Twitter, Instagram, all that.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram is Chaz C. No Roper.
Chaz
You can
C.
find
No
me, Snapchat, everything. It's Chaz C. No Roper. You can find me everywhere. Now, don't follow me if you want all this extra. All I do is post inspirational things. That's my thing. Or you gonna laugh. That's all I post.
Yep.
That's all I care about for social media. I don't need social media to make money. So at the end of the day, I'm posting inspiration. I want you to have a bad day. Come look at my page and your shit. You got you some medicine for the day to keep it going. That's what my page is about.
And there it is. There you have it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. This one was great. I enjoyed this. Just sitting here recording it, man. I know I'm going to go back and play this, replay it for days and days to come. So let me know in the comments if y'all like this. You know what I'm saying? Drop a line of a bar that y'all got out of this that y'all enjoyed, or y'all took something away, a little nugget y'all took away. So until the next time, appreciate y'all, and we'll catch y'all in a minute. Peace.
Peace.